Now, Nick, I would say for me personally, I like all those questions, but I would add one, and it would be, what can I do as a leader to help you with these things? You know. Buns, Burgers, Big Ideas listeners, welcome back to the studio. We're glad you're here, and we have Nick back.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me again, Riley.
Yes, of course. We this is a podcast for us, by us, and so we're always happy to flex in and have some different hosts and different conversations. Now, we don't have any guests today, so we're just going to do what me and Eric do and just kind of shoot the crap and talk about some leadership stuff and share video.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. But before we get into that, me and Eric usually just, chat a little bit.
Well, there's a lot of exciting things going on, especially in the field of leadership. But I'm really excited that our team has really amped up their leadership, not just in their restaurant, but in their people. So we have been focusing a lot on doing internal verifications that are going to help accelerate our leadership in our restaurants, not just our GMs, but all those managers that work below them. So we have, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I know we've amped it up quite a bit. We went from about 10 or 15 a day to I think we're averaging 40, almost 40 a day. So super excited about that because it's just going to continue to elevate the talent in our, and not just in our GMs, but all the other managers.
Nick's talking about the internal verifications that we've talked a lot about on the podcast. If you're a listener, you've heard us say internal verifications a lot. And it's not the score or the piece of paper, it's the coaching and the development behind it.
Yeah, and it's the conversation that happens.
Yes.
Because a lot of times as leaders, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole now, but it's that nervousness of sitting down with Riley and going over Riley's performance, especially when it's
maybe
black
so
and
you
white.
Like Riley.
Yeah.
You like Riley, you don't want to hurt his feelings.
Exactly.
But guess what? He might not be very fast at the drive-thru.
It's Riley, you got a 65. Sorry. Maybe I just tell you right away, hey, Riley, it wasn't that great, but we've learned a lot of stuff through it.
Yeah. There's a difference between the feedback, we call it the landing zone feedback and an actual conversation.
Right. And sitting down and connecting with each other and really caring, because that's where that humility comes in, right? And the vulnerability. We've talked about that before in past podcasts. It's really that sitting down and telling, hey, Riley, guess what? You just didn't hit all the marks. And guess what? What actions are we going to take next to make sure those marks improve or, get over that 80% that we have to pass? So, I think that kind of segues us right into our clip that we wanted to, right? So
today the clip we chose is about asking for updates. Our industry is very fast-paced and ever-evolving, and, depending on what level you're at, you might be asking for different updates from your team. And we found that sometimes when you just ask, hey, do you have any updates? Oh, it's good. Everything's fine. Labor's at 20%. You're going to get short, non-valuable answers. So let's take a listen to this clip quick, and then we'll talk about it.
Right on.
If you've ever asked your team any updates and got silence, you're not alone. Leaders ask how to make that better. Here's a better way to check on progress than asking any updates. That question is vague and usually gets you silence or some half-baked answer. Instead, use 3 specific questions. First, what's one thing that's moving forward? That spotlights progress. Second, what's blocking momentum? That is going to surface those real issues. Third, what's the next action? And who owns it? That locks in that accountability. With those 3 questions, you stop fishing for random updates and you start driving real movement. It's simple and fast, and it makes every check-in more meaningful instead of a waste of time.
I kind of like those 3 questions that he asked. I feel like it's going to give you more breadth to your answers that you're going to get. What if you were to add anything else or dissect these a little bit more? What would you say?
Yeah, I think I liked what he said, the half-baked answers, because a lot of times as leaders, we're okay with those half-baked answers. Oh, thanks, Riley. Cool. What do you blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Where I'm super excited that your OP is at, 125 and you're going to move faster for the next 20 minutes to get under 120. One thing I really like that he's mentioned when you ask those questions is, hey, what's one thing that's moving forward? A lot of times we just jump in and say, hey, what's this? What's this? What's that? Okay, cool. What are you going to do next? And I think as leaders, we kind of ask that what's next question instead of asking, hey, Riley, what's working?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I like that question too, because it's highlighting some of the successes, right? It's hitting the point of progress. we're not going to talk about necessarily the negative or the things like that aren't working. We're going to get there, but tell me like what's moving the needle forward right now that's working well for you. So
Right.
most of the time when we ask for updates, it's over the phone, right? It's texting, hey, any updates on this?
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, I don't really like that. I think you should be talking on the phone or in person, but I get it. Can't be everywhere at once.
It's the easy way out, right?
It is.
Like,
It's
hey,
easy.
Riley, I'm going to
Yeah.
text you. Like
Yeah.
the written, we're so good at the written language right now. Riley, what are you doing? Question mark.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, but the first point is we're gonna celebrate those successes, and then the next question he asks is, what are some roadblocks or what are some things that are in the way of progress? Again, focusing on moving the needle forward and not necessarily what happened yesterday or
Right.
what happened in the past.
Right.
So I really like that one. I don't know. It's nice being able to have, when a leader asks you those questions, you're not going to give them half-baked answers.
Right.
Like you're going to think about it.
Right. Like what's currently moving forward? And then the next question was, what's stopping that momentum? Right. So, and he didn't say stop everything. He said stopping the momentum. So that ball is rolling, but what's making it roll a little bit slower that we
Yeah.
have to give that little extra push?
And I would say we just had that too. We just got done talking about internals at the beginning of this episode. We were not getting our numbers. People were not taking it seriously and not understanding the value of them. And so we kind of had to be like, hey, let's remove these roadblocks. These are important. You should be doing them every day. You should be doing this many.
Yep.
Maybe that's on us as leaders because maybe we didn't give them initially a number or target to hit. We just said do them. And now all of a sudden we said, no, we need 4 a day, 3 a day,
Right.
depending on your volume and your hours, right? And now we're getting 40 some a day. It's like,
Right.
like that's just cool. Like that just happened for us.
Yeah. And then really what's the next action step we take? And that's kind of the third question that he said. Like, I guess I probably could read it exactly. What's the next action step and who owns it? And that's really important too. When we talk about momentum, what's slowing it down? Riley, what are we going to do next and who's going to be in charge of it?
Hey, your drive-through speed is so close. You said, one of the roadblocks was, you didn't have a split function in the back cache, and that
Right.
was slowing you down. Okay, so let's address that. Now, who's going to own making sure that drive-through speed hits that 114 time? Oh, my assistant's going to take that. Cool. Now, as a leader, you're updated. You know who's accountable to that goal or whatever, and it just gives them ownership.
Yep.
Now, Nick, I would say for me personally, I like all those questions, but I would add one, and it would be, what can I do as a leader to help you with these things? And I don't know if this is a weekly update, a daily update, like obviously you find your groove with your team, but I would consistently ask, like, what can I do as a leader to help with either the roadblocks or celebrating the successes? Like, what can I do?
Yeah, and it kind of comes back to that whole revolving action plan. If you think about it, hey, Riley, what are you doing that's well? What's slowing you down? What are you going to do and who's in charge of it to keep that momentum moving forward? And it can be that rotating thing. It could be a weekly thing. It could be a daily conversation. It could literally be a written communication because now it's very clear. We're not half-baking answers and being okay with a half-baked answer. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting.
I know it's been a long time since you've been in the restaurants. It's been a long time. For me
What are you
too.
talking about? I was in the restaurant on Friday. Come on.
Not that.
Oh, okay.
type of-
Gotcha.
I meant
All right, gotcha.
running a restaurant.
Right.
So I remember though, for me, it was always about labor, right? Any updates in labor, cut.
Yep.
cut.
Oh, sure.
And those updates, just every time I got that text, it was just like, God,
Yep.
I'm already running 3 people.
Yep.
Like, you want me to cut? And now learning more about leadership and learning more about these different questions, sure, this shift might not have been running well because we were short staffed. And my boss or whoever was asking for those updates just needed that data. But it's so cool because we're shifting that culture here. And I can see that now it's not just data, it's leadership.
Sure.
And from our GMs to our shift managers, it's a really cool shift. And what I think is even cooler is the internals, again, once more, is going to help us get to these questions because they're going to have that coaching conversation. And it's going to be easier for them to get those answers instead of me feeling like, oh God, I got to send labor every hour.
Right.
I got to step away from a busy restaurant to go do this. Now it's coaching. Now it's more developing into a better shift leader.
Yeah, and we can even use those internal verifications as that revolving action plan that we talked about almost. The
Yeah.
three questions they talked about, where's your momentum right now? What is slowing your momentum down, and what is your action step next?
Great
And who's in
point.
charge of it?
Yeah, that's a great point.
It's internals.
It's
every
internals.
single time.
Yeah.
Hey, Riley, you got a 65 in your internal. Guess what? We're going to do another one tomorrow. And then the next day, and then the next day. And then you're going to continually keep that momentum going through just by continuing education.
Yes.
And that's where we can use the internals for everything, right? It's
good.
one of those awesome things. But like we said before, the beautiful thing about the internals is when Riley gets to above that 80%, now Riley's going to know where his momentum is going and how he's going to keep the momentum moving forward. We might not have to ask that number 2 question because Riley's got the answer. Number
Riley
1
knows.
might be always relevant.
Yeah.
And number 3 might be the next thing we go to. So
And then Riley's also going to take that information that he's learned and then also coach and develop his fellow coworkers
Yep.
or his team and
Yep.
his crew. He's going to be more confident and more comfortable because he's passing internals.
yeah, a lot of successful coaches say that the best way to learn is to teach and coach. Imagine when you get to that 80% in your internal and then you start teaching others and doing them on them. That's going to make you, it's going to raise your leadership and your shift running ability that much. So, assistants and other shift managers that have given out or have not done an internal verification yet on another fellow GM or not a GM, but any manager, really empower yourself to do that because it's going to help you level up your game because now you have to be that subject matter expert on every question and you're going to stay sharp and you're going to always keep
And it's a different
relevant.
observation point.
It is.
When you're running a shift, it's you get into those tunnel visions. We've talked about it many times. But when you're the observer and when you're the one performing an internal, you get to see, like, you're still working, right?
Of course.
You're still doing fries. You're still making sandwiches.
Still worried about labor.
Still worried about labor. But you're keeping an eye out and you're looking at things. And you're like, oh, okay. And that alone, to your point, is going to help you with your internals.
Correct.
So yeah, absolutely. For the team that's listening, make sure you guys are doing internals on each other. You do not need a general manager or one of us to do them. They're on the website. Just go and find them and start practicing because they're not going away.
Nope, they're
It's for
not.
us.
Nope, they're not.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the conversation, Nick.
Hey, thanks for having me,
Appreciate it.
Riley.
Yeah. Make sure you guys listen, learn, lead, and we will see you next time. See you later.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us on Buns, Burgers, and Big Ideas. We hope today's episode inspired fresh ideas for your leadership journey. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode and keep learning with us as we continue to explore leadership in the QSR world. Until next time, take care and lead well.